Okay, let's analyze what the market construct is looking like, what to make of that recovery from the lows yesterday. Kunal is here in the studios with us. Kunal, got pretty scary at one point in time yesterday when we broke that 22,800 mark and then that recovery from there. What's it telling you?
Yeah, so far I think fourth attempt towards the Nifty of 22,800 levels. Fourth time I think we've seen a bounce back. Different degrees of bounce back is what we've seen in the previous three attempts. For example, the first major bounce back was in the month of January when we saw almost a 1,000-point recovery from 22,800 levels towards 23,800 plus mark. And then from there, I think the next subsequent bounce has been a bit shallow. So we can just expect that maybe this time around the bounce could be a lot more stronger and not the shallower bounces like the 200 to 250 odd point bounce for the index. What we also saw was the mid caps and the small caps making a comeback, and both these indices, I was actually looking at the data where almost 90 to 92% of the stocks in the mid cap 50 and the small cap 50 index are trading below their 20, 50 and 100-day moving averages. So generally we say that closer to 95% as a number in these three key averages, we expect the markets to be extremely oversold and the sentiment to be extremely pessimistic. That's where we expect a very strong bounce. So the data on the mid cap and the small cap side also indicates that maybe for the very near term, we may probably just about stabilize at 22,800 levels.
So Kunal was telling me about this very interesting analogy in the market, uncle point.
Uncle
point.
Why don't you tell our viewers what is this
Cup,
uncle
saucer,
point?
handle, hammer, I actually heard these words.
Uncle point, that was the first.
So uncle point is basically a point where traders and investors, they give up. They surrender to the markets. They are they're fearful of losses. They can't take that pain. And so the actually metaphorical relation for that is when you are in a fight and if you surrender at some point of time, then you cry uncle, so that you want help.
So why not husband wife?
That's the terminology.
Uncle point.
Uncle baja sakte hai.
So the uncle number is 22,800.
So I think it seems like pain wise, mid cap index and small cap index, I think yes, the level is 22,800.
And the uncle has to be FI who's not coming. No, that is a problem. The uncles are going to China.
Yeah, China and Japan, both.
Somewhere I was reading yesterday that I think it's just one of those things which you pick up when you say that the Japanese funds have started getting redemptions now. So I think redemptions are actually kicking in. And I think now what you may actually see is that from India dedicated to sector specific funds, the redemptions have actually started. So Kunal, okay, I look at 22,800 and I say fourth time. But every time you've gone there, the attempt of bounce back is getting even slower. Which is that yesterday we recovered, but we did not go above Friday's high.
Correct.
Right? So, well, logically what you and Nuresh have always said that imagine there is a wall and you keep on knocking on the wall's going to break. So if 22,800 is broken, which is where the uncle point is, what happens
Even
then?
I couldn't get it out of my head.
So I think if that happens, and there is a strong chance that that may happen because the sellings from the FIs is still not over, at least looking at the quantum of the data. But if that happens, then we could be looking at least another drift of 3 to 4 percentage points on the index, which should be, I think, closer to 22,000.
Nuresh is not ready, right?
No. So Kunal, what stocks would you right now lean on? Would it again be large caps?
Yeah, it should be large caps, but there are few pockets of stocks which are showing signs of strength. We were discussing Godfrey Phillips yesterday, a stock which is 50% up this month at a point when the markets and many of the mid caps have actually seen an exaggerated pain. There are few such stocks which have actually shown signs of resilience. For example, from the auto pack, we were looking at Ashok Leyland. That's a chart which is emerging as a potential candidate of a breakout. Then you have, of course, financial services name Bajaj Finance, Finserv, which have been extremely strong. You have, few of the fertilizer names, the likes of Coromandel as well as Chambal Fertilizers. These stocks have started to look attractive. So there are these pockets of relative strength which is still there into individual stocks, not the entire sector. And I think that's the concerning point because, you just have maybe few odd stocks within a larger group of, sectors which are showing signs of strength, but no major sector which is actually showing signs of revival. That's one of the major reasons why the bounce back is a lot more shallower and not more stronger.
ये हिंदी में क्या होगा uncle point का?
I need to check that.
Chacha
Hindi
ka
mein
number.
uncle is uncle only.
Chacha ka number.
Nowadays.
Uncle.
Yeah. Chacha, mama.
We call it train. In
No, it's
English
actually
and
Lopat
maybe
Gamini.
uncle.
Yeah.
Hindi of train is actually Lopat Gamini.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just speaking the Hindi dictionary out here.
Interesting.
But yeah, interesting. A waiting uncle point there. But Kunal, what about stocks? Any recommendations you would have for our viewers?
Yeah, two buy calls, and the first one is a buy on Bajaj Finserv. I think it's a classical chart. The stock even yesterday gave a multi-week breakout, breaking past about the 1800, 1850 mark, which has been a bit of a concerning barrier for Bajaj Finserv over the very short term. So would look out for targets in the range of 1950. Stop loss could be kept at 1850 mark. The second would be an interesting chart. It's a buy on Ashok Leyland. The stock confirming a price volume breakout, a swing breakout on the daily charts, as well as a breakout above its longer term moving averages. So three classical turns which we've seen shipping up for Ashok Leyland. That's where I would believe that the momentum could probably accelerate. Would look out for targets in the range of 232, stop loss at 217.
Okay.